Hello everybody, I'm Evan Irwin and welcome to the Magic Show. On today's show, we'll be talking about Jace the Mind Sculptor, the best card in Standard, not even close. No, I'm just kidding, it's me. And we opened a terrible pack, and the choices are pretty much Turn Slag, Ichor Mir, and Origin Spellbomb. And the Turn Slag and Origin Spellbomb are a bit better, but I mean, if you're gonna draft Infect, you might as well jump on it early, and it worked fine last time, so... I mean, even if I don't go Infect, I'm only losing one pick in the entire draft, so it's not a huge downside, really. And another pretty miserable back here. I mean, the only real options are Replica, Copper Mir, and that's it. I don't really like Battle Gear, because it doesn't do a whole lot. There are a lot of decks where it just kills all your guys. If you got a bunch of Mir, it just kills most of your guys, so yeah, I'll take the Copper Mir, because I'll play it in pretty much every deck. Even though I'm not a big fan of off-color Mir. I'm not a big fan of Mir in general, because in an aggro deck they're often just mulligans. And this pack's actually pretty good. I mean, I say it's pretty good. It's got two cards that I'd consider: Arrest and Tangle Angler. And seeing as I took the Ichor Mir, I think it's actually, the two are close in terms of how good they are. Again, not the Tumble Magnet. I don't like Tumble Magnet at all. I mean, I play it, obviously, but it's nowhere near as good as Arrest or Tangle Angler. I just don't like the idea that it runs out after 3 turns. Like, with Proliferate, it's good, obviously, but then you're playing a Proliferate deck, and your deck's probably not that focused, because it's really hard to get a focused Proliferate deck. So, having taken the Ichor Mir and a Copper Mir, I'll take the Tangle Angler. Turn 3 Tangle Angler is really backbreaking against most decks. And the options, pretty much the only options here are Untamed Might and Perilous Mir, and Untamed Might is good in effect, obviously, but it's not that good. And I mean, I suppose it is that good, but you only really want 1 or 2, and I'm sure I'll see more Untamed Mights throughout the draft, whereas Perilous Mir is less likely to come around, and I'm not definitely an Infect at this point, so yeah, I'll take the card that I'll definitely play. And we're still faced with the decision of Infect or no, but I think Corpse Cur is, I mean, both a signal and good enough that we might as well just jump in on Infect. It's either that or Arbalest, really. Again, Trinket Mage would be good if blue were a good colour, and Leaden Mir is a Mir, and I don't like Mir, so I'll take the Corpse Cur. And we get rewarded for taking the gamble and get a Tel'Jad Fallen. And not a whole lot in this pack, but Fune Spitter is a card I've been having a lot more appreciation for recently. I used to really not rate this card, but I've realised that it does actually kill most cards in the format. I say I realised it a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Say a month into the format, I don't know. But back to this pack. Even if I'm Infect, I'll most likely not play Vectorasp. And so I guess I'll take this Horizon Spellbomb, because it's better than just a kind of off-chance sideboard card. I might consider Revel if I had any artifact removal at this point, but I don't, so it's not really worth it. And Pack of Nothingness. What am I most likely to get annoyed by? I'm never going to play Relic Putrescence for the record. Not even in a poison deck. I guess this might randomly get me. Then again, that's more likely to get me. And this is actually a reasonably useful card in Infect. I often main deck that. Because obviously if you're Withstand Deathing a 2-2 against a 3-3, and you get no value. But if you're Withstand Deathing Cisbear against a 3-3, then you get a lot of value. So yeah, it's decent. You also always want critical mass of creatures on the board, so the Withstand Death becomes better. Because, yeah, you want the creatures on board more than most decks do. And Tainted Strike is always useful when your Infect deck turns bad. Welcome to Perfection. Sheldrod, Whispering One. Invisimancer doesn't get much love, but again, it's because it's blue, which is the worst colour in the set. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't draft blue, because being the worst colour in the set, it's the least drafted colour in the set, which means it's often open, and you get the nut blue fix. So, what do we have? Nothing. Okay. Oh wait, there's a Caracal, I didn't see that. I was thinking I could just take the Life Staff, because that's good in pretty much every deck. I mean, obviously we're kind of committed to Infect, but it's very small possibility that we don't go infect. But having seen the carrying call, even though I do have a lot of 4-drops, I'm going to need to pick up a few more mana mere. Even though I don't like them. But yeah, carrying call's fine. I think carrying call is actually a lot better than people give it credit for. It's kind of, oh, here's a good pack. Let's say, carrying call is kind of a Black Leaf Goblin, but good. It's a really good pack here, but the only real card that we can consider is Tumble Magnet. Which is a shame, because I don't like Tumble Magnet. But, I mean, obviously, it's at its best in fact, especially if you pick up some proliferators. And, I mean, even if we do go into red, I have so many 4-drops, it's not worth going into red for this. So, yeah. Volition Range is also a trap. And an actual decision to be made here, which is good, I suppose. Because we have a lot of options. I guess the options would be Trigonal Corruption, which is really good in any deck. Especially so in the poison deck that might be able to abuse it. Silver Replica, which again is good in any green deck, and green is pretty much the only colour I'm in now. Blast, which is obviously good if you're splashing it, and Copper Mirror, which we really need. But having said all that, having said I really need this, I think I'm going to take the Replica. If I didn't have this awkward mana curve going on already, I'd take the Trigon because it's a bit more powerful, I think. But again, yeah, the fact that Replica is just good against pretty much every deck, even the Infect deck, they're always going to have a target. Okay, more choices. I mean, I'm actually really tempted by this Ichor Mirror. Because the Infect deck does just want Infect guys, and I don't have any at the moment. I'm going to get a lot of criticisms for this. I mean, I can take the Grasp, but I'm not really that heavily in black at the moment. I might end up close to mono green, or I might end up splashing something. And so I don't really want to pick up a double black card at the moment. It's better than 10 to Slag, so if we're considering the splashing double, then we're going to, well, taking double, we're going to take the Grasp, obviously. And Slice and Swain, sure it's good, but I have these 4-drops, so yeah. For issues of curve and mana cost, I'm going to take the Ichor Mirror. Feel free to criticise that in the forums. And yeah, it seemed Infect was dry, but apparently it's not, so I suppose that's good, we cut it off well. And Plague Stinger is the best non-rare Infect creature. Maybe tied with Tanglangler. And Molder Beast is cute with Tainted Strike, but we might not end up playing the Tainted Strike, and Bladed Pinions is pretty much always good, so take that. Sorry, I should expand on that. I said it's pretty much always good. I mean, it's pretty much always good in Infect. It's not that good in other decks. But something that is pretty much always good in Infect as well is Cisbearer. And yeah, another Cisbearer. This pack turned out a lot better than we thought. Untamed Might is good, obviously, but like I said, you see these quite late. And Cisbearer is just too good to pass at the moment, especially when we need 3-drops and we need creatures. Guess this one might annoy me. In fact, no, that's more likely to annoy me. And Barrage Ogre, pulling that out of the draft is pretty nice. I think it's better than Seize the Initiative, so if we're going to hate, we'll hate that. More Tainted Strikes that I probably won't play, but the third pack might just go disastrously. Although, I think it's safe to assume that hardly any people are in Infect, because these Cisbearers came, 8th pick, I think? And it's the kind of card you first pick if you're in Infect, so we can say that, other than 2 people to our right, if we say the 2 people to our right took, say, a removal spell, or a Plague Stinger, or a Hand of the Bright or whatever over them, then we can say they might be in Infect, but most other people in draft can't really be in Infect. So if there is someone in Infect, and most likely one or two to our right, in which case we just take the second best Infect card, which is still fine. And now we open Skithrix, the Blight Dragon. I think I'd rather have Putrefax because of the double green rather than double black. But although I recently saw Jerry Thompson, who won the GP, so must know what he's talking about, say that he would rather have the 7th 2-drop over the... Oh, okay, sure. I'll finish what I was saying. He said he'd rather have the 7th 2-drop in Infect deck than the first Putrefax, which, I mean, I kind of disagree with. I think he might be saying that as a slight exaggeration just to prove a point that Putrefax is overrated, but I think it's better than your 7th 2-drop. I'd take it over most of the commons, I think, because that 5 poison is just so huge. But, yeah, Contagion Engine, sure. pretty good pack as well, but obviously nothing nearly as good as Contagion Engine. And this is the worst Infect guy, and it costs 4, so we'll take the Arbalester, which is actually pretty good in Infect. Oh man. Yeah, like I said, if someone's Infect, they're going to be to our right, so... might take this Trigon actually. I've already got a Defiance, and I definitely wouldn't play 2. So yeah, I guess play the late game against the control decks. The decks that want to go late game, you can have ways of going late game with them, draw into my Contagion Engine. I mean, I might play this anyway. Obviously it's not that great, but it's playable. Right, so we're back to being past Infect guys, but unfortunately it's a Teldrad Fallen, which I don't really like, but it's the only Infect guy in the pack, so yeah, that's better than a Leaden Mirror, I think. Our curve's a lot better now, so we're not really in need of mirrors as much as we were. We don't really want any more 4 drops, but I mean, if you can say that a couple of these are 5 drops, and then the curve looks a lot better, seeing as we don't actually have that many 5 and 6 drops. But I mean, Infect, a really crucial part of Infect is having a good curve, so I think 5 4 drops is already bordering on too many. And not much interesting here, but culling Dace is fine, I guess. Especially when you've got a spare Mana Mir. And annoyingly, I'm going to be taking all 4 drops. But this is particularly good with the culling Dace I just took, so... yeah, I would really like a Mana Mir in the next pack now. Having passed them all, and having said I don't like them, this is the one of the few situations where I really want a Mana Mir. And no Mana Mir, but we do have 3 Infect guys to choose from, although I'm not considering this one for reasons already mentioned. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the 3 drop. My 2 drop's quite crowded, and I'm not sure what I'd want 3 Ichor Mir. Yeah, I mean, like, if my opponent plays an Ember Smith, then I'll be there with a bunch of Ichor Mir thinking, I wish I had that Contagious Nim, so yeah, I'll take the Nim. Because I did just pass an Ember Smith as well. And I'm not going to play 2 Culling Dace. I might play this Battle Gear, put it on Assist Bearer. I mean, is it worth taking this over a Turn Slag? Yeah, I guess. Turn Slag's not that good against me, I don't really have any equipment. My guys generally cost less than 5. Yeah, I'm really not going to play Vector Asp. And it sucks, but I'll take it. Yeah, when I say Black Cleaver is the worst Infect guy, I'm not including Vector Asp. Because Vector Asp shouldn't even be considered an Infect guy. Vector Asp basically costs 4 or 5. Because if you play it turn 1, the point, like, in an Infect deck you really want a good curve. So you want to go 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop. And so if you're activating Vector Asp, you're not doing that and you're probably not winning. Huh. There's that Molder Beast I was talking about, Tainter Strikes. And with 2 Tainter Strike, I've only got 10 seconds, so I can't really look at how many playables I have. No, I'm going to assume I'm not playing Molder Beast and just take the decent guy. If I had a bit more time there, I might have counted out my playables and seen if I might have to run with a Molder Beast strike plan, but sadly, I only had 8 seconds. I don't think I'll need to anyway, I have quite a few playables here. I mean, if I'm running short on playables, I'd rather just throw in, say, 2 Horizon Spell Bombs or whatever, and not have to run down the Tainter Strike plan, because it's kind of playing a Bull Rush that is sometimes really good with the random guy that's bad otherwise. So it's combining 2 bad cards to make a Putrefax, but if you draw them by themselves, they're pretty bad in the Infect deck. A lot of cards here, so start cutting. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. So I'll probably add another one after this once I've worked out what I need. See how many creatures I actually have. So I have 11 infect creatures, kind of 12 with Trigon. And I have 15 creatures overall, 16 with Trigon. Yeah, I think that's more than enough creatures. I don't need to start adding Blackleaf Goblins or Tainted Strikes. Tainted Strike's not great when you've got Fume Spitters and Replicas because they want to die naturally. And Coppermere can go to the Culling Days once I've used it, so I think the card I'll add is Bladed Pinions. I don't really have a use for Horizon Spellbomb, it really messes up your curve. So yeah, I'll go with the Bladed Pinions, which is pretty good with these Cyst Bearers and Contagious Nyms. It's pretty bad with Telglad Fallen, but I've got Corpse Cur and 3 other guys that it's really good with. Because putting this on a 2-power guy makes it really hard for them to block or attack. So yeah, I will add some land and submit. 6/11. I don't have much black, but also don't have much green. Like, I have 2 double green, but I have a Coppermere, so yeah, 10/7 is good, and I'll see you for round 1.